I was cleaning my son's room when I found $700 hidden in his shoebox. I found $700 cash hidden in my 12-year-old son's shoebox while cleaning his room. My first thought was drugs, theft, something terrible. I called my wife Talia into the room, holding the stack of bills. "Have you seen this?" She barely glanced at it. "Yes, what's the big deal? You should be happy he's saving." Then she walked out. Something in her voice felt wrong. Not angry, resigned, like she'd been expecting this conversation. When Adonis came home from school, Talia appeared with the $700, counting it bill by bill. "Not enough," she said quietly. Then louder, "You know what happens if it's not enough?" Adonis just nodded, his face blank. He was 12 years old and looked like he was carrying something much heavier than homework. The next morning, I watched Talia give Adonis 2 white pills with breakfast. "What are those?" "Vitamins," she said, watching him swallow. "They'll help you last longer." Help him last longer for what? That afternoon, his teacher called me at work. "Mr. Williams, Adonis has fallen asleep in class 3 times this week. Is everything okay at home?" Her question hung in the air. That night, I tried asking Talia about it. "Mrs. Swan says Adonis is falling asleep in class." She didn't look up. "Kids need more sleep." "Talia, he went to bed at 7:30 last night." She finally turned around, and for just a second, I saw fear in her eyes. "Just leave it alone, Noah, please." But I couldn't leave it alone. That night at 3 a.m., I couldn't sleep. Something was nagging at me, so I went to check on Adonis. His bed was empty, still perfectly made. On his pillow was a note in his handwriting. "Dad, if you're reading this, I'm okay. I'll be home by sunrise." I ran to the window just as the sedan pulled into our driveway. Adonis limped out our back door and climbed in. I grabbed my keys and followed, staying far enough back that he wouldn't notice. 20 minutes later, the car pulled into Mel's Diner on Route 9. Through the window, I watched my 12-year-old son walk straight to the back, emerging in an apron and name tag. The night shift waitress hugged him. The cook waved from the kitchen. Everyone knew. Everyone except me. I sat in my car for an hour, watching him carry trays loaded with plates that made his thin arms shake. Truckers 3 times his size barked orders at him. His hands trembled as he poured coffee. I finally kicked that door open so hard it slammed into the wall. That's my 12-year-old son. Every eye in the diner turned to me. The manager stepped back, face pale. He said he was 16, had a work permit and everything. He's 12 years old. An older trucker in the corner booth stood up slowly. "We all knew, mister. Every one of us knew. But the kid said it was life or death. Said he needed the money to save someone." My world tilted. Before I could respond, Talia's car screeched into the parking lot. She saw Adonis on the floor when had he collapsed and fell apart completely. "I told you weekends only," she sobbed, grabbing his shoulders. "You promised me. Just weekends." Adonis was trying to stand, swaying. "Mom, the bills. I had to pay them." "What bills?" I demanded, looking between my wife's tears and my son's split lip and bruised arms. Talia's face crumbled. "Noah, you have cancer." The word hung in the air like smoke. The ambulance arrived minutes later, and suddenly I was watching paramedics check my son, while a different kind of numbness spread through my body. Cancer. I had cancer. At the hospital, while they treated Adonis for exhaustion and malnutrition, the truth came out in pieces. Talia found my test results 3 months ago, the ones I'd hidden in my desk drawer, too scared to follow up on. Stage 3, colon cancer. Our insurance had lapsed when I switched jobs. She panicked. "I thought if I could just handle it until your new insurance kicked in," she whispered. "If I could just keep you working long enough." Adonis offered to help. He wanted to save you. Those vitamins were caffeine pills to keep him awake for midnight shifts. The $700 wasn't enough because my treatment was going to cost thousands. My 12-year-old son had been working 40-hour weeks on top of school, sacrificing his childhood because I was too proud to go to the doctor, and his mother was too desperate to ask for help. CPS arrived before dawn. The investigator, Roman, separated us for interviews. Child labor violations, potential neglect charges. But Roman also connected us with hospital social workers who knew about charity care programs, payment plans, emergency Medicaid. The diner owner, Mel, paid $20,000 in fines and restitution. Principal Harris, who knew and looked the other way, was demoted. The community raised money for our medical bills after the story broke.